very, very excited by the Dutch translation of Landing, and I hope you've all checked out its trailer on YouTube. It's the first time I've ever had a trailer on YouTube, and it's just fantastic.
Chapter 1 says the lover, you love her with all your heart.
Now, Emma, some people say that you can only write about things you know. So, well, do you agree on that one?
Oh, I knew this question would be coming.
Well, I was wondering, have you ever smoked a joint?
Never actually. It's one of many things that I have to make up. It just so happens that I hate the taste of alcohol and have never tried any other recreational drugs either. So that's an area on which I have to consult my friends all the time. I have to consult them about things like the makes of cars, because I never notice what car people are driving. I have to consult them about jobs in the real world, because I've never had one of those. I was a chambermaid very briefly in New Jersey, and I was sacked for my low bathroom standards. And I've never had a real job. Can you believe my luck? I've done nothing but writing. So, I have to, if it's a novel set in the past, I do my research, and if it's set in the present, I pick the brains of my friends. But yes, I use a lot of autobiographical material as well. So yes, you might say that a novel about an Irish woman falling for a Canadian is ever so slightly based on the fact that I fell for a Canadian.
Chapter 2, you tell her, you never gonna fall.
My first decision about the book was that the Irish character would have to not look like me, because the biggest change in Ireland, this seems ridiculous in other countries, but when I was growing up, we all looked like this. We were horribly homogenous genetically. Blue-eyed, brown-haired, or possibly red-haired people. Everyone went to mass every Sunday. It was all horribly the same. And then, we finally got some immigrants in the 1990s. So you go back now and you see, say, Asian faces on the streets of Dublin, and it's such a thrilling change. So I decided my new Irish woman had to be a different colour. So Sheila O'Shaughnessy, which is the name you're complaining about, she is a flight attendant for an airline which I do not name, but is quite similar to Aer Lingus. And she has an Indian mother and an Irish father. And she happens to encounter her polar opposite in the best tradition of romantic comedy, who is a small-town Canadian called Jude Turner. And I thought it would be quite fun. There's a real tradition of stories about, urban, modern North Americans coming to little cute Ireland and encountering leprechauns and castles, sweet little Ireland. And I thought it would be quite fun to have Ireland in this book be the modern, brash, expensive place, and for an Irish woman to encounter somebody from small-town, old-fashioned Canada. So to have the new world, as it were, be in fact the rural, quiet, old world kind of place.
See this book of love, find out why it's true. Wonder who wrote the book of love. Chapter 1 says the lover, you love her with all your heart. Chapter 2, you tell her, you never gonna part. In chapter 3, remember the meaning of romance.
So, I think no writer writes alone. You're always drawing on the experiences and writings of other people, particularly your friends from my kid. Oh, well, I usually ask permission if I'm taking a big piece of their history like that. And mostly they love it, yeah. And often they imagine they're in my book and they're really not. People are quite vain that way. If you've got one shoe colour the same, they go, that's me! But anyway, this particular one was very, very obviously based on my own experience of commuting to Canada and making the decision to move there. It was great fun to use personal material. It meant that every time I was on an airplane making the same boring flight again, I could observe little details about what was in the in-flight magazine, or what the food was like, or what the flight attendants were doing, and write it down. So it was fun, but it was also actually, considering it's quite a light book, it was very hard work to process and reshape that autobiographical material. So it's not necessarily the easiest way to write a book. got one Irish friend and one Canadian friend to vet it. And the Irish friend said that I had the voice just right, but my prices were all out of date. Far more expensive than I could imagine. And she said, take out all figures, just imply enormous expense, you know.
Yeah.
And the Canadian friend said that in my effort to make the Canadian sound Canadian, I was going way over the top and I was hitting redneck American. So she said, pull it back. It's funny, people often think that your historical novels take a lot of research, but that your contemporary fiction, you can just write out what's in your head. But perhaps I don't have quite enough in my head, but I need to research contemporary fiction too. So for Landing, I did a lot of reading blogs by flight attendants about how they spend every minute of their shift and how horrible their passengers are.